It's still Sports Splash on Lagos Television. Now joining me is Emeka Chuks Nnadi. He is a swimming guru and also a swimming enthusiast. We'll be looking at swimming in Nigeria. What are those challenges that are mitigating against the growth of the sports in Nigeria? We'll also be looking at grassroots swimming also. Emeka, good morning.
Good morning, madam.
All right.
Good morning, everyone.
So let's start off with Nigeria swimming. We've not gotten it right yet. You were based in Spain?
Yeah, I lived in Spain before I moved here.
Okay.
Yes.
So, of course, you would have seen what it is out there. When you compare that with what we do here, what is it that we are not getting right?
Well, I always say that years of swimming injustices in the world has affected Africa and is responsible for some of the things that we're experiencing now, especially with regards to swimming, because nobody wanted us in the sports anyways in the first place. So in the swimming world, there's something known as swimming injustices. And part of the reason why my Swimming One Day organization exists is also to combat this swimming injustices. We have it in a very high level. So we talk about what happens with the international world and the international swimming body, where there's a lot of racism and where we've been taught as Africans through slavery and all of that in the past, that our bone structure is so bad that when we get into the water, we sink. And bearing in mind that we've been told so many things so that the slaves would not escape at that time, these things became like myth and real for a lot of Africans. And apart from that, our ancestors also wanted to stop their kids from going to the riverine areas and the seas where those slave masters were coming to capture them from. So they came up with this myth of Mami Water as well, and water demons that a lot of religious people use now to exploit people. These things don't exist, but with all of this, you find out that the typical black man thinks that he cannot swim and he doesn't want to swim. And actually, when I was coming to start my project, I knew that I would be fighting a very uphill task fight. So I thought, well, I'm going to do this, but we have to make my organization not just a charity organization, but we're going to make it a movement and a campaign. And part of the campaign is what we're doing now with LTV, trying to talk to people about the reality of their existence. So swimming in Nigeria could be good if we have the right facilities for it. I was talking to someone in the government, and she said, well, it's not very beneficial. And I'm like, yes, for you it's not. But for me as a swimmer, if I want to go to the Olympics, I have to maintain the standards that everybody else in the world has and actually do better. So we need to have facilities that would encourage this. People need to understand that it's not just enough to say we want to go to the Olympics, but to put in the work. And at first, we didn't want to do it as an organization, but now, because I went back to Barcelona and I got involved with the Olympic team and they trained me to do this, I'm excited, not just to do it for Olympic swimmers, but also to do it for Paralympics. And I'm glad to say that for the first time in Nigeria, in the Swimming One Day organization, we're going to start the first Paralympic swimming team for visually impaired, blind students. And also, we're looking out for parents to register their autistic children as well, and mobility impaired children. So this is really great news for Nigeria, and I'm super happy to be the one to make that happen. Thank you.
Okay, now you talked about the whole shenanigans of being slave, and of course
the swimming injustice,
because of our nature. Okay, that's the best word, swimming injustice. Now, there's no, as much as the way it was interpreted was wrong, you can't also take away the fact that because of our nature, our body structure, some of us are not flexible. If you're not born in the US, you know, and the kind of food we eat. Yeah. For example, IJ loves fufu. She likes to eat. No, I'm trying. I'm trying to cite an example so you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
now this is the point now. Now this is the point now. Because of our nature and the way we are wired. Now, wired in the sense that what we eat, sometimes maybe that let me use the word now. That's X factor that might just say we're not qualified to swim. Now, don't you think if we start lecturing and teaching from the grassroots how to eat healthy and some of the things we eat, maybe the whole idea of, hey, we are this, we are that, we're not qualified to participate at any swimming competition, maybe all those narratives would be brought to Mother Earth. Don't you think so?
Well, it's funny because recently a little boy I think from Lekki, went to the UK to represent Nigeria in swimming, and he won a lot of gold medals. And I think he won up to 6. I forgot, Aidan or something is his name. Black people actually do better in everything. And even the way we are wired, everybody has to understand that we do everything better. The scientists that have been checking DNAs found out that we have superior DNAs as black people. So I swim for 5 hours at sea. I'm a swimming enthusiast. I'm an endurance swimmer. And when I go into the sea,
so 5 hours is
without getting to ground, without touching the floor,
you swim 5 hours inside the sea,
without eating and drinking, and I do not know any white person that does that.
5 hours.
So sometimes I've been in the water and the white ones will come with their boat and say, "Are you okay, sir?" Because they've seen me from their boat in the water for so long. So it's not about our bone structure or what we eat. Every human being is wired to swim. Part of the funny thing about the arguments we have about our bone structure and all of that is that we have to understand that it's a stereotype, like every other stereotype that people have about a race, that is completely wrong. It's a prejudice that people have no scientific justification for. So they came up with all those excuses just to discourage us from swimming. But I have to tell you guys that we do it better. I do 5 hours without food and water, and I tell you, I do not know any other white person that would do it without food or water and stay for that long. So the beauty of it all is that if we want to do it, once we put our minds to it, we will succeed. And then what I am trying to build in 3 years is a swimming academy that is the same or even better than the ones you have in Europe and America. We're going to get there. I believe in little by little we'll work towards it and we'll achieve it. But if we would have a swimming academy, which is standard, our training students would be having the right food and everything they need.
That's exactly my point.
So this is my thing. This young man that I just spoke about, he's doing it because his mom is an ex-sports person, like she was competing for Nigeria at some point. So he's really nurtured at home to be able to do that. So he's winning medals, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him do a lot more. But there are so many Aidans out there and so many people that would love this. And that's why my organization is giving out a lot of scholarships to people in the grassroots. And already we're nurturing them. I have a talent that is 14 years old. He's an amputee. And if you go to my Instagram page, Swimming One Day, you'll see him. This is real. His first 6 days, he was doing 40 lengths of the pool, better than the children that did not have any disability that he was doing the event with. We have the SNF program, if you remember. So it's not about how we're wired. It's just about the fact that sometimes we pray too much, and we hope that things can happen when we pray. But like I said, my organization is about teaching people as fast as possible how to swim in the fastest possible way, because climate change is real. And if we have a major disaster, our people are not going to survive. Statistics says that 90% of the world's disasters are water related, and 90% of drowning that happens in the world is from Africa and a lot of underdeveloping countries. So it's about time that we started taking swimming seriously. It's about time that we started understanding that it's not just for sports that it's important, but it's important for everybody. Because apart from that, the benefits and the gain that you stand to have when you're disabled or when you're growing old is just so enormous that I do not understand why swimming is not a bigger thing than what it is right now. So my organization is about the campaign. We're about the movement. We already got a lot of people that are joining the movement. And we're about making sure that everybody gets swimming. So yes, a lot of poor people and disabled people cannot afford it, but we're able to give them these scholarships that make it possible for them to learn swimming. And this is why we're here.
Now, my final question would be, now you've said that you're going to be training some athletes, to represent the country at the Paralympic Games. How sure are you that with this, because the Paralympics is just next year, how sure are you that we'll be able to win medals, even with this short period of time?
Oh, no. I don't believe in miracles like that. I do not think that we can win miracles if we're not prepared. So we're looking at a 3 to 5 year period of training for them to be ready. And the thing about me is that I'm a very successful business consultant. I'm a very successful trainer. So I have trained people in the business industry to do a lot of things. I have 3 university degrees to show for that. My career has been very successful, so I don't believe in shortcuts. So if we're going to have people representing us, we need to train them well, prepare them well. So maybe someone is super gifted. Then they're ready in 1, 2 years. But we couldn't get people to go that fast. And for instance, the visually impaired, the blind people in Nigeria has not had any opening at all. This is their first opening, and they're super excited about it. And if they're super excited about it, this means that they're going to be super motivated. And we're giving them that opportunity, and we're hoping that Nigerians will join us, become part of the movement, especially this July, was World Drowning Prevention Day on the 25th, and we had a special shoot with BBC Pigeon for that. The idea of what we're doing is that Swimming One Day Project is all about making sure that we reduce the amount of drowning that goes on in the world and making sure that Africans are empowered. Why? Because if we're not empowered to help ourselves, nobody can save us. When disasters happen, when accidents happen, we're trying to teach a lot of children water safety rules. So we have the Swimming One Day water safety rules that the kids can sing and that the kids can recite. We hope that with time, every school will teach this water safety anthem to the kids so that they know how to behave in and around water. So the idea is to reach out to as many people as possible and to continue reminding our people that with climate change, your decision matters. Every time you're going out in that car, every time you're not walking, every time you're burning your generator, every time that you're smoking in front of your kids, you're killing them. Every time that we do not care about what happens around us, we hurt ourselves and hurt our future and the future of our children. And this is the Swimming One Day message. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emeka Chuks Nadi, for being part of the show.
Thank you.
The one that got me laughing was you smoking in front of your kids and you're killing them. Please don't smoke in front of your kids.
It happens a lot.
The one that got me was when he said he swims for 5 hours inside.
Inside water.
Not be water. See.
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
It's my love, my passion.
All right, thank you so much. Stanley Ikawu, a.k.a. Police Barrack, thank you also for making a return.
My name
to
is Stanley
Paul Ikawu, a.k.a. Police Barracks.
Total disclaimer. I don't know what to say.
But that's a wrap from us on Sports Splash on Lagos Television. Join us tomorrow for another edition. Thanks for watching. I'm Ijoma Chibu. Bye-bye.